Hello, this is Nanzano. This is on this video. I'm showing how to replace or repair uh the hybrid battery on a Prius, especially the 2010. But they are similar. When the video starts, you hear a lot of noise. That is actually coming from the engine noise, because now that the hybrid battery doesn't work, it doesn't kick into it doesn't, the engine is always like making noise, all these noise. So that's what is you could hear over while I'm talking. Well, remember, the first 3 minutes is just me talking about how I diagnose, I'll go through to detect which battery to change. Then from there, the rest is how I put the battery together. Like I say, I'm using TIS, which is a different scan tool for Toyota. You can use whatever you want, but just for me to understand what each cell is bad. But again, I'm not here to teach TIS. Remember, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to do the hybrid battery. If you need to know about the TIS, that could be a little. I could make a separate video for that. Yes. There's a reason why. I use the TIS. That being that I've done like maybe 6 or 10, maybe eight of these cars. I like these because, if you watch, you can tell you the side pressure of the sensor. Anyway, let me click on the head. Now this is what it's giving me. Block 12 and block 14. That's how I check it. So block 12. And block 14. So that's what it is. Block 12 and block 14. So it tells me 12 and 14 is bad. And that's all I need to do. Here we're starting the back of the Prius. So you take all the stuff that is on the back of it. There's a bunch of stuff. Again, it's not really fully detailed, but some of these are pretty much straightforward. You take the stuff out of the way, screws holding things, then in this place I went in, I'm just trying to unscrew a bunch of stuff. The panel that is holding it, trying to figure a way to get this. I'm gonna have a different position where I was able to show you how all these are being done. So again, here I'm using the meter to test. I already put the safety switch all I did was I think connected the negative from the battery, the 12 volt. Then I used the okay, I'm taking off some of the stuff that hold this. Then I use a multimeter to check to make sure there's no current. These things you're looking at depending on the year you have, some of them are 260 volts, some of them are 210, but they're a big voltage. So so you gotta be careful, make sure there's no current, be safe with these, make sure there's no nothing going in. So right here I'm taking all the screws out that's bolted in. I do WD-40, something like that. As much as can, don't use less power tools. Make sure you screw it out first before you use the big power screw. So the battery, I'm not sure how much it weighs. It probably weighs like a 45 pounds. So right here I took it out. Then again, taking more pictures for reference basis. So that's why I do all this stuff, the pictures that I take, so that when I go back, just in case if I'm not sure, I'm not wondering where did this piece come from, how did I do this. Again, I've done this more than once, but remember, these are different gen. This is generation 3. So I can just so that's why I'm doing all making sure I have a reference point to this. So taking the bleeder out, the air, the fan, then taking this is the bus bar that that connects it, makes all these power and series, whatever, whichever the batteries. Then in this case I'm counting it. Of course I know what it is, but I'm trying to figure out which one is the 14 and 18 or 14, whichever one that I'm replacing. That's what I did right there, to know which one. And you gotta find out where you count. Do you start from usually you start from where the fan is and count. That's where the fan is your number one. So, but again, make sure it could change. I could be wrong. They're all different. This is Gen 3. Then I'm taking all the screws that are holding this on the so there's, I think there's 28, but then don't quote me, I don't have this off my head. It's like 28 bars of this. So you count the pad. So 1, 2, then whichever one that tells you which other number that you have to take out, whether it's 17 or 14, then you take it out. So here I'm taking off all the screws. It's a little bit, it's not really, it's not really a tedious work. It's just more of being consistent, knowing what you're looking for, what you're checking, and what exactly what you're doing. So again, there's no power on this. I know they're high voltage, but there's really no power in. I've checked it. I did maybe I'll put it in case if you're wondering. I did do some of these. Then I end up going to Weber State in Utah. That's when I went there for like I did a couple classes on the electric cars and all that stuff. I'll probably insert the pictures of I took over there. So now the bottom, this is the bottom. So you take out the side, you take out the bottom, I flip it over. It's just more how do I get this to work in the same way, having the right tools. So some of these are number 8, some are number 10. The screws are different sizes. So again, try to make sure what you're doing. I know, okay, this one is swollen. This is what, and I took it out outside. So I knew the ones that was bad, but I just want to be testing them, checking the volts while I'm taking them out, because I decided to replace more than these are the ones that I'm gonna put it in. So I'm checking volt. I think I put that, at least I've seen 2 that I wanna put in place of the ones that I got the wrong code for. Then I'm also here why, because it's already open. I'm measuring every one of these battery. Again, there's more than one way of doing this. You could use the hybrid, you could use Talk. There's a couple apps that might give you example, but again, ways of checking this. But this is how I do it. So I just went through, I checked again, made sure the balancing is there's a lot on this. A lot of people could argue that it wasn't balanced, or you gotta have to balance it. But again, we're not talking about a brand new battery. You can always buy a brand new one. All you have to do, when I pulled it out, you just put another one and swap it. You can also do that, but at least this is just to show that all these is possible. Or you could take all these apart, take them, you know, into different, do anything you want with them. So in this case, now I'm beginning to put it back together. So on these, I always have this side, I always have a problem with it, trying to press it back in, because you're talking about something that is you know, the screws holding it is like packed, you know. But again, it's probably like a machine that compressed it. Who knows what compressed it, but I'm using hand to compress it here, you know. So I do it gradually. Then I'm putting back the bus bars, I'm putting all the screws, I'm putting all the everything. Then this is the temperature, the temp control. Then I'm putting the air. I'll probably gonna put the air where it cools down. Then I'm putting all the sensors. I'm putting back all the electricals on it. And if you watch that, the orange one, when you take these cars out, the orange one means is that you know. So, and that's what I did. Then I just bring it all back in. The whole thing usually now takes me like from beginning to end, it usually takes me like maybe 3-4 hours to do, you know. So, and that's more of it. Then I just go back, put back all the screws where they're supposed to be, tighten everything. You know, a couple did fall in. You gotta have the magnet to pull it out. You gotta have a longer, because you can't fit in some, there's some tight spot that you need help, or you need a special, you know. So I just put everything, you know, together, you know, straighten out. But like I said, it's still, there's still no power. The 12 volt is disconnected. The safety switch is still off on it. So I'm just putting everything together. Then if you watch now, I put that's where the safety, that's what, yep. Then I put back that, then the car is on. Then I already put back the 12 volt also on these guys. Then and it's been working for months now. I haven't had issue. Thank you.